At Entrepreneur Academy, we believe in a community where success is amplified, not diminished by helping others. Introducing the Entrepreneur Academy Link membership, your ticket to a thriving lawn care business. Join our exclusive Entrepreneur Academy Link Facebook group where like-minded entrepreneurs share insights, advice, and encouragement. It's not just a group, it's a family dedicated to your success. As a Link member, you'll enjoy monthly hangouts to connect with fellow lawn care professionals, bidding hour calls to sharpen your business acumen, and enlightening lessons from industry experts in our monthly guest expert series. And here's the icing on the cake, our monthly group coaching calls where your specific challenges are addressed and you receive personalized guidance to excel in your business. Yeah, there's more. Gain exclusive access to the lessons from Brian, the mastermind behind Launchpreneur Academy. With call records, PDF recaps, and more, you'll have a treasure trove of resources at your fingertips. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to revolutionize your lawn care business. Join Launchpreneur Academy Link membership today, and let's grow together. Visit launchpreneuracademy.com and sign up now or use the link in the podcast description. Launchpreneur Academy Link, your link to success.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, I am in the mobile office. That doesn't mean that I'm not on the road necessarily. It just means that the current house that I'm living in has wheels. Welcome to the jungle. I am actually recording this inside the camper, which is where my wife and I are living for the next couple of months until our construction is done on our new home. It's been an interesting last 6, 7, 8 months. It's going to be another another 4, 5, 6 months until things are really wrapped up. The barn is going well. The house is going well. There's not too much really going on in terms of physical work in the business right now because there's no snow. It's too cold to do leaves. We're not really getting any calls for leaves. So we're just kind of in this awkward limbo. And, surprisingly, for those of you guys that are clicking on the podcast, clicking on the show today, you might be in that exact same boat. Maybe you are doing a little bit of work, maybe taking some Christmas lights down or doing some pruning for different trees that can get pruned more in the winter. But arguably, you're probably sitting around and hauling off and doing a whole bunch of nothing. So number one, I just want to commend you and congratulate you on actually downloading and listening to the podcast today, ironically enough, because there's not too much going on in terms of work, whether plowing snow or, mowing grass like we typically are during the summer, where it can just be default that you listen to 6, 7, 8 different podcasts in a day. In the winter, you might pick one, maybe two, and maybe 1 or 2 per day, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe 1 or 2 per week until you get the next plow run or you happen to go out and do leaves or something like that. And then you're back up to 4, 5, 6 podcasts a day. So I just want to say kudos to you. Thank you for listening to our show today. I do want to add some value to you guys, and I want to maybe just talk about some things you can do in the off season right now. A lot of us are going into the new year. By the way, Happy New Year to all of you guys. Of course, Happy Holidays. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. If you're Kamala Harris, Happy Kwanzaa. The only person that celebrates that holiday in America. Just kidding. So, long story short, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to refresh. It's an exciting new year. There's a lot that a lot of people are, making New Year's resolutions on. And I know we've done some podcasts in the past about goal setting and SMART goals and New Year's Eve and or New Year's goals and all this other mess. And I really do invite you guys to check out those other episodes. They'd be the first week of January in 2020, 21, 22. We've done some great shows like that. What I wanted to do today is maybe give you guys some marching orders, maybe give you guys some homework if you're looking to grow your company, but you're not sure what you should be working on, right? Like, I'm all about putting in work. I'm all about fixing things. I'm all about restructuring things. I'm always about, looking maybe a year ahead, 2 years ahead. But sometimes, and I don't know if you guys can relate to this or struggle with this, sometimes I don't know what to work on. I don't know what to work on next, and I don't know what to work on that's going to get me to that next goal. Not the next goal. I'm saying the first next goal, right? Because you could say, well, we're going to have 100 trucks and 200 employees and 20,000 square foot shop. Oh, okay, that's cool. But right now we have 1 storage locker, 2 guys, 1 truck. How do we go from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 12, right? Like, what's the next first thing that we should be working on? What I wanted to do is maybe just offer some insights about what we're doing. Because, I think we're a pretty relatable sized business to a lot of you guys listening in. Maybe you're in the 0 to $500,000 mark. Really, maybe sub-million is probably that first real benchmark of growth or a business to where you really have to start doing different activities to grow past 750 to $1 million. Okay. It doesn't mean that there's different levels along the way that aren't real businesses, from 0 to 80K, 0 to 100, maybe 0 to 250, 250 to 500, 500 to 700, 800, 800 to $1 million, million too. Of course, there's different levels along the way, but it is all kind of the same big jumble of work that we just have sales that has to get done, work that has to get done, keep people happy, keep people motivated. That's 0 to $500,000 million. Okay. From there, you do have to spend your time differently. You do have to come up with strategy. You do have to come up with a plan. We talked about that just a couple weeks ago on the podcast. Our business right now did about $350,000. I have to actually look at the exact dollar number that we closed out the books, but that was what we were projecting at the last minute when we had a phone call with our accountant on, I think it was like December 20th or something like that. Pretty much wrapped up the season. Very happy with where we're at for the company. Some good 10-15% growth for Brian's Law Maintenance. Did well as, with the media company. Very happy with that. Of course, setting our horizons on big gains for 2024. Definitely revenue growth and profit growth for both companies. Like I'm sure a lot of you guys are setting similar goals. But what I wanted to do is just talk about a couple things that we're working on strategically for Brian's Law Maintenance. And frankly, this is going to be probably a 2-part series because I want to do another one of these in about 2 weeks after about the January 22nd, 23rd, because we're going to do one of our first meetings with the guys, really talk about strategy for 24. What do they want to get out of the company? And then we're going to kind of set some goals and I'll work on all that together, which I'm really excited about. In the meantime, some things that are homework that I'm working on. Like I said, in the off season, yes, we're writing another book to be released in the spring for social media. We're getting the Entrepreneur Academy live replays ready for you guys. February 1st is looking like the date. Mr. Producer's helping us chop those up, and we're going to get those on the website. We've been building Link, the private Facebook community for you guys to give you a membership and something to belong to and to share notes and compare stats and to ask questions. That's going really well. I think we had 122 members in there last I looked, growing more every single day. Thank you guys so much for investing into that. We're building infrastructure on the back end of the media company to give you guys the tools and the resources to help support you as you guys grow your lawn and landscaping business. But in the thick of it, the actual company, there's some work that we have to do. And if you can't go outside and do physical work and generate revenue, we can start working on the back end side of the business, right? The guts of the company, okay? And a lot of this is actually, if you guys can hear the paper, okay, that's the paper. That's my notebook from the Landscape Mastermind Sessions 2023 that was hosted by Mark Bradley. I will just tell you guys this. If you're listening to this podcast, I don't want to do a super lengthy episode today, but I will just tell you, if you are looking to grow a lawn and landscaping business in 2023, 2024, 2025 as we go through this, I cannot encourage you to attend anything other than LAL. Okay, but that already happened 2 months ago. Other than LAL, there is not another thing I know personally that I believe in that I would convince you to spend $200, $300, $400 in a day or a day and a half or 2 days and $200-$300 ticket and a $150 hotel night than to go to Mark Bradley's Mastermind sessions that he's doing with LMN, which is a software company. I'm not getting paid to say nice things. I'm not using LMN just yet. It looks like we might be switching to that here, like I said, at the end of the month. More on that to come. Still love Yardbook, use Yardbook, but our company's looking to shift gears, and we do need to shift gears software-wise. I will tell you, there hasn't been anything more convincing and more enjoyable to listen to and talk to and learn from than Mark Bradley, a guy who has been there, done that with a $50+ million company. Sold it about 2017, 2018, I think it was. Don't quote me on that. And he's went all in with LMN the last 5 years. I will tell you, the stuff that I'm going to share with you came out of this notebook. These are the thoughts on the exercises that we did that are in this book. So if you guys have one of these LMN workshops, masterminds, masterclasses that Mark is doing, I know he's doing one in Seattle. I know he's doing one in Orlando. I know he's doing one in Columbus. If there's not one in your local city, dude, get a buddy or two, take the wife and road trip or buy a flight. if you got the funds. I know money can be a little bit more lean, a little bit more tight this time of year. I'm cognizant of that. But if you get the opportunity to go hang out with Mark Bradley for a day or two, and then usually the second day, or at least second half day, is a company tour, where they get to, go work at or highlight or showcase a local company using LMN. Usually it's a $5, $10, $20 million company. If they open up those doors and you get to see the inside of that company, holy cow, I would invite you guys to do that, okay? I don't have a link or anything like that or a code to save any money on that. I do apologize. Hopefully maybe something in the future. But for right now, we don't. And frankly, I don't care. I'd pay retail again for this thing, okay? So what I want to do is just give you guys just a couple notes and some things that we have been talking about and that we're going to be working on for Brian's Lawn Maintenance in the near future. This might be a little choppy here, so I'm just going to read some notes that I have. Again, I've got 4.5 pages. Dude, 4.5 pages of notes. I've got things on building enterprise value, talking about EBITDA, revenue growth. What else do I have here? I got other pages, all different topics, all different things. Mission statements, vision statements, takeaways, captured insights, strategic planning cycle, having a business utopia, the 3 W's, wins, working, wants. Okay. Every single one of these pages are just chocked full of notes. So much stuff to do. You guys want to hear a funny nugget or a funny line? Was at this masterclass and Mark Bradley was telling this story, and he said he doesn't do any personal coaching or consulting. He said it's just not worth his time. He's got too big of a mission to be handling, one-on-one questions and calls and all this kind of mess. So he does group coaching, usually at seminars and all that. 50 to 100 people that'll be at these classes. So when he was talking about this story, though, somebody really pressed him, wanted him to come on in and look at their company. And they said, pay anything. And Mark said, fine, I'll do it. It's $5,000 a day. I'm going to fly in and, help you out with your company for 8 to 10 hours. I'm going to fly home on the airplane ride home. I'm going to write down all the things that you can change about your company, and then you can implement those. And, we'll see it in a couple of years. And the guy that was trying to hire Mark telling this story, so I need to book you for 3 days minimum, and there's a lot of stuff that we got to probably work through here, but I want to book you 3 days minimum. And that's just what the guy wanted to do. And Mark said, no, you don't need me for 3 days. He goes, you only need me for 1 day. And frankly, I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to be there watching you guys load up. And in the first 15 minutes, I'm going to be able to take enough notes and to give you enough homework for you to work on for the next 2 years of your company. So no, you don't need me for 3 days. You don't even need me for 1 day. In 15 minutes, I'll give you enough work to be able to take back to your company to fix things for the next 2 years. And you're just like, dude, he said that line in the room. And this isn't a bullshitter, okay? This is a guy who knows what he's talking about. I just humbly sit at the feet of this dude, and I'm like, people are like, oh, you excited about LMN? No, I'm excited about learning how to grow a $5, $10 million company from somebody who's been there, done that, and is offering to pseudo mentor and coach people through his content, through the webinar series, the masterclass series, of course, the LMN team. Frankly, I'm just really excited about that. I don't know last time I was this excited about growing Brian's Lawn Maintenance, okay? And I'm a real person. I'm just like, dude, let's freaking go. And so that being said, this class, I took 4.5 pages of notes, and every single one of these things, like Mark was joking about, are 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year type things you can work on. 4.5 pages of notes, and I've got 100 items that need between 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 1 decade worth of work, okay? And some are lifelong learner type things, being a better leader, being a better communicator, being a better listener. Those are all things that I'm continuously on that journey to becoming a more effective version of myself. Let me just read through you, though, a couple pages of notes, maybe just getting through a couple of these. I want to hopscotch around a little bit. Here's the point. Again, let's take it back to the top. Here's the point. Right now, it might be lean. Right now, it might be slow. Right now, you might not have a bunch coming in. You might have still some going out. You're like, I don't know what to do next for the company. I don't know what to do next for, work with the guys. We can't really get out there until March. We can't really get out there until April. I don't really know what I need to be doing. I want to grow the company. Everybody's talking about strategizing. What does that look like? Let me give you guys a couple notes. And again, you can start working on this over the next 6-8 weeks. That way, you go from a mob of guys, maybe from $0 to $500,000 of revenue, and just churning out work, to actually putting some structure, some vision, some thought, some intentionality into your company and making it feel like a real company. Okay, does that make some sense? So here's just a couple things in no particular order. These are just some things that I'm working on. I'm going to go through these, okay? Let's talk about this. You can talk about your mowing routes. That's something that we can all be working on to optimize in the off season, taking a look at your clientele list, who fits the mold of the company and the client that we want, who doesn't, who's in our service area, who's not, who do we need to prune. Talking about salaried and commissioned opportunities for you guys, bonus structures and pay. Talking about how much waste is in the company, right? This was a big conversation topic at Mark's class. This is something that I want to get a lot better at. Oh my God. I've heard, I think Caleb and Brittany have been talking about this recently on a podcast, how much waste that they are trying to shore up in their company in 2024. And frankly, we're in the exact same boat. I don't want to put numbers in their mouth that they were saying, but, there's $10, $20, $30,000 at my company size, 5, 10, 15% waste. I mean, there's things between load up time, people arriving late, maybe leaving early, leaving work on the schedule, not finishing up things, costing us money the next day to come back to, all the same typical problems that you guys have. And again, we've got a stellar crew, stellar company. I couldn't be more happy with how 23 went. But we all have a lot of room for improvement. All of us do. At least my company does. I'll tell you that. Talking about waste was a huge one, and frankly, once we're at the frickin' pole barn, once we have all of our stuff consolidated, once we're out of our 4 stupid storage lockers and just tripping over crap to get crap, and where I can be doing other jobs where the guys are focusing on other tasks and I can have everything I need to grab at one spot, versus before I would drive 15 to 20 minutes one way, 15 to 20 minutes the other way, 15 minutes into the route, 20 minutes back, 20 minutes to my home. It was just ridiculous. Like, none of the work that I did probably made any true profit, if you will. Waste elimination, okay? Working on having your email more optimizing, corrected. Basically, you can have a sales at your company's name, or ideas at, your company's name. That way people can have their own role and buy-in at the company. I thought that was some really good ideas. Talking about building crew leaders, having right-hand guys, talking about skill gap analysis. This was a big one. Maybe your guys are all on salary, and maybe you do have a shop. There's no work really going on. You can bring those guys in and start teaching them how to build retaining walls, teaching them how to properly, do a landscape bed, watch some YouTube videos, watch some tutorial videos, do some training with the guys, teach them about vehicle safety. Hey, here's how we do a DOT checklist walk around every day. These are all things, you don't have to do it every single day, but you can have a weekly Tuesday meeting, from 9 to 1, grab lunch with the guys, 9 to 1, every week until, March 1st. Then we're all hopefully back off to the races. But why not get together with the guys once a week, every week for the next 6-8 weeks? Another one here, going back to the front of the book, was talking about creating mission and vision. This is something that we are going to be working on, like I said, mid-January forward. Working on creating a mission statement for the company. A brief description of why your landscape company exists in 1 to 3 sentences, designed to explain what your company does, who it serves, and what differentiates it from your competitors. A mission statement is used to provide clarity and direction to the people in your company, while also telling the clients what to expect from the business. Right? So I wrote down here, your business is to solve other people's problems. If we succeed 5 years out, this is the impact that we've made on our employees and our customers. It's a purpose and our passion, okay? Like that's some great homework there. Rewind 30 seconds, 60 seconds. You can take some notes on that. Having a vision statement. A vision statement outlines the company's long-term goals and plans for what the company will be in the future and the impact it will have on the community it serves, right? There are 3 main components of a solid vision statement: what you do, how you do, and why you do it, right? So you can create a mission statement with the guys. You can create a vision statement for you guys. Mark went into a couple other things, but there's some core values, right, that you can incorporate with you and your guys. What he actually did a real-time, during his presentation, real-time, just went in the chat GPT. He plucked somebody from the audience. It was like Red Lawn Landscape. I forget the guy's name. Nice guy. He was, a good sport. And Mark helped them basically redesign like their company value statement or mission statement, whatever it was, mission statement. And then they picked out some core values for the company. And Mark was like, it doesn't have to be 21 things. It can be 5, it can be 8, doesn't matter. But imagine this, like if you want accountability in your company, you want to grow and you want to have a team and not just a mob, then there's core tenets, core standards, not rules, right? Not rules. Rules and standards are entirely different. I'm going to do a whole nother book podcast here, a little updated version about some great books and great reads for 2024. But one of my all-time classics that I absolutely love reading, and it's something I probably need to read again here soon, is called The Gold Standard by Coach K. I forget, I don't even know how to say his name, but he was the head coach of Duke for a while, won a bunch of championships, really, really impactful dude. You know, I don't watch any basketball, but I know he's got a legacy of a great coach. But he took a bunch of prima donnas, you know, Kobe and LeBron and, dude, I don't even know, a bunch of the best of the best of the NBA, and had to teach them how to play together for Team USA, right, and how to win a gold medal. And the stories are actually really awesome. And what he had to get all these guys to do is to buy in, you know, for something greater than themselves. And you think about it. These are all guys with time, money, businesses, wealth, fame, fortune, women, whatever. Kobe, LeBron, all these different guys. How do you get a team of 5, 10, 20 people together for the All-Star team for the Olympics, for Team USA, to get them to compete for something, right? Which is a gold medal. That's something that they all didn't have. And you can't get all that beyond high caliber level. We're talking about the tip of the spear, right? How do you get all those guys to play together and to be selfless in this mission, this quest, to be able to earn an Olympic gold medal? And he talked a lot about standards and creating buy-in versus creating rules. It was just a really insightful book, The Gold Standard, if you guys haven't checked that one out. That's something that we want to develop with our guys. We want to create a mission statement, a value statement, maybe a mantra, if you will. We want to create company standards, company goals in that regard, because if one of their core, this wouldn't be necessarily a core tenet, but a core principle is, you know, being on time or accountability, and somebody continues to show up late, but we all decide that these were, you know, top 7 core goals and core tenets and principles, core values together, and then somebody's continuously late, and I'm like, bro, you came up with this. This one was you. Don't be late. You know, we're a team, accountability. And he goes, yeah, you know, I'm blowing it. But if you just have a rule that says no one's late, and he's late, he goes, well, I didn't make up that rule. I didn't make up that standard. Right? It's a very, very different approach, core values versus rules, okay? I really encourage you to check that book out. It's an all-time classic, in my opinion. I'll do a follow-up podcast here in a week or two talking about some other great reads. I've been getting a lot of folks that have Audible credits to burn. They want to work on themselves. I do have a list of about 15 books that you can read in the off-season that'll really help you guys out as we go into 2024. But those are things that we're going to be working on. Vision statement, mission statement, core values. We're going to be doing a skill gap analysis. We're going to be giving folks an ability to give themselves a raise at Brian's Law Maintenance, what that looks like and what is expected of that. And that was a lot of those puzzle pieces came together, believe it or not, in just the last, well, I guess it would almost be 3 weeks now, when we got to hang out with Mark Bradley at this 2-day Mastermind masterclass. Because I'm like, well, I want to do a bunch of these different things. I don't know how to integrate. First off, you need to know. Number 2, you get to integrate. I didn't know, you know, so number 1, I had to learn that. Number 2, we got to get better at integrating. Something that I'm really excited about is we have more people on staff and part of our team that can help us to integrate. And that's something that I'm probably just going to leave it here for now instead of giving you guys like 40 other marching orders. Because like Mark Bradley said, that 15 minutes will give you 2 years of stuff to work on. Not me. This is all Mark's ideas, right? These are just 3 things. Imagine the rest of that guy's got in his head. But what I will say is, some of you guys are really ambitious. You have great ideas. You're visionaries. You're dreamcasting. You guys are really motivated. But sometimes we lack integration into our company. I want to encourage you guys to incorporate your wife, incorporate your girlfriend, incorporate your husband, incorporate your spouse. Maybe it's a mom or mother-in-law. Maybe it's somebody you hire. Maybe it's a service or a company you hire. And they're the ones that are able to actually help you guys integrate these ideas into reality, right? Because a lot of us are visionaries. We have the ideas of what we want to do, but unless the rubber actually meets the road and we're able to integrate these ideas into our business, that's all they are. They're just great ideas. And so that's something that Liz is helping me to integrate. We've got some other help that we're trying to integrate these things. We're trying to hire more services to help us integrate employee manuals and all this kind of stuff. So it looks really, really nice. More of that's going to come down the pike in 2024. Because what we're trying to do is lay the foundation in 24 to take the company from 350 to hopefully 455, maybe 600,000. I'm not really setting myself on a horizon to do $1 million or anything this year. We need to work on a lot of foundational stuff to even get to $1 million, $1.2 million. We just do. We're a ragtag army of guys. They're great at doing the work. We're great at having great culture and camaraderie. But we have to grow skills. We have to grow thought process. And then we're going to be able to grow revenue and really take this thing to the next level. So that's people are like, well, hey, Fullerton, what are you excited about 24? Getting to $1 million? I'm like, no, dude, like laying the foundation. That way we can grow. Yes, we'll grow 100, 200, 300 grand in revenue this year, hopefully, right? With a strategic plan. But really, it's the idea of going into 2025, how we can take this thing to $1 million, $1.5 million, maybe $2 million and beyond. Okay. There's a whole bunch of stuff that maybe I can do another part 2 of this. I'm just looking at this list and I'm like, how do you make all this translate in a 20 or 30 minute podcast? It's just too much to do. One last thing I'm going to work on, and I encourage you guys to work on, this is another big takeaway, one of the core 3 or 4 that you can do some homework on, is work on a budget. There's a lot of great folks out there that have free budgets, budgeting tools, budgeting software. I think Synced software, Synced Up or whatever it's called with West. And I believe they have a free budget tool that you can download, get a budget for your company. That's something that frankly, Liz and I lack with Brian's Law Maintenance. We throw it under the rug, under the guise of we will make any investment that the company needs. That's not a real budget, by the way. So something that we're working on here in the next 6-8 weeks that we're excited about if we do decide to switch to Element and OnRamp with Element is their budgeting tool, their budgeting software. That's really going to help us to have a real financial budget, projections, and plan for Brian's Law Maintenance. Other than, which has always been the conversation for both lawn care and the media company, is whatever it takes, whatever it needs, we will invest, because we don't invest in the lifestyle first. We invest in the companies first, and then we try to live on the lifestyle. For us personally, we need to get a budget for Brian's Law Maintenance, especially if we intend to grow. And that's the exact conversation why we're evaluating LMN. We're super excited about Cycle CPA on the bookkeeping firm, because they have a new 17-page financial document reporting system and reporting. I just can't speak highly of it enough. If you guys need a good bookkeeper, Cycle CPA, I think we have them on a show here in the next couple of weeks or next couple of shows, which is going to be just so exciting. Carla and Joseph. I had a bunch of people asking about that link the other day. Couldn't speak highly enough of them. Let them know that we sent you. They'll take care of you guys and save you a couple $100. I think it's a code Brian or something. But between the vision statement, the mission statement, the company core values, a budget, right? These are some of the core tenets of what we're literally actually working on for Brian's Law Maintenance in the off season, while we're not plowing snow, while we're not raking leaves and sucking up leaves. These are the things you can do to grow your business if your revenue isn't not able to do revenue producing work right now, if that makes some sense. So a little bit of homework for you guys. This is the stuff that you can be working on over the next 6-8 weeks. March 1st will be here before you know it. Most of us will be out the door or shortly thereafter. But if you want to strategize with your company, talked about that 2 weeks ago, and some folks were like, well, give me some quantifiable things. What can I work on? This is a short list. And again, I know you want 16 different other things of homework, but just like Mark said, these 4 or 5 things that I just listed off will give you 2 months, 3 months, 6 months worth of homework. Okay, not from me, just on the topic, just the conversation that all this will start, okay? So work on these. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. This is the kind of stuff that we're working on. This is what I feel is the most pressing and also the most, return on investment for our time. If we're going to focus on things we can focus on for Brian's Law Maintenance, it's our software, it's our vision statement, mission statement, core values, getting buy-in from the team, making sure we have great company culture, making sure people understand the handbook. And that way, once March and even before then hits, I'm able to start selling work like crazy. The guys can backfill with production. It will continue to hire. It will be able to grow this company another 6, 7, digits in the next 12, 18 months. Okay. So that's the kind of stuff we're working on. Just a little bit of homework today. I'm all about SMART goals and vision and New Year's resolutions. Frankly, I don't super care because what you did the last week of December is likely going to be what you're going to do the first week of January, right? Unless you're going to get super fanatical about something, which is the only way real change comes. It's not going to be by doing a little bit every day. You have to be absolutely militant about a couple different topics for a short window until, 6 months or so, until you become a habit with those. That's the only way to really affect real change. So I couldn't care less about New Year's resolutions and New Year's goals. Okay. It's just not, for most people, one, set them. And number two, if you already set them, You don't need to keep resetting them every year. Keep working at the goals you previously set. And if your strategy, your plan didn't get you to them, well, then you need to readjust the plan, not readjust the goal. Okay. Obviously, the strategy you had to get there wasn't working. Some of the things I just gave you might help you with your lawn care company. And if you got other different goals, hey, some other different things you got to focus on, obviously. So that's what I got for you guys in today's podcast. Sorry for any ruckus in the background. When you got 180 square feet to your name, this is the kind of noise that you get in the background. The kids are having fun out there. We've had an absolute blast as a family. I'll tell you what. People are like, how are you guys roughing it, man? You guys making it? I'm like, actually, yeah. We run around in circles around the island in the rear living kitchen, if you will, is what they call it. Every day we go into the barn. We kick a soccer ball. Every day when it's not warm, we go into the basement of the house. We clean that little kids' room. It's just drywall and not even drywall. It's insulated and just stick framed, down there, whatever you call it. But we got the soccer net down there. We're kicking a soccer ball, watching the slow snail pace of all the work getting done inside, all the trim. It just takes time. It's all detail work. Frankly, life is good right now. We're enjoying the weirdest season that Liz and I have ever been in our, not just our adult life or parent life, our entire life. I'm like, what did we put this on ourselves? I'm like, why are we living in a camper in the winter for 6 months? But here we are, living the dream, having fun, doing the deal. I just want to tell you guys, appreciate you guys, love you guys, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great start to the 2024 season. Shout out to the University of Michigan. Sorry, Alabama. Stuff happens. It is what it is. Not even a football guy. That's just a little jab for Jeremiah Jennings if he's still listening to the show. And then one last thing, and you are going to get tired of it, but you're not going to get tired of it if you join. Is Link. Okay, check out Link, because if you've joined, you know the value it's adding. If you're tired about hearing about it, that's on you. Change your attitude. I don't know what else to tell you there. Your wood's wet. Link is kicking butt right now. Like I said, 120, 125 members. Last I looked, growing every day. We invite you guys to check that out. It's $29 a month. It's absolutely super nominal. People are like, man, I love you, man. I'll support you. I got your back, bro. I'm like, cool, join Link. Like, whoa. I'm not going to be part of a $29 a month Facebook group. I said, I love you and I'll support you. I'm like, well, if you want to support, it's not for me. I couldn't care less. It's not for me. It's for you guys. It's for all of you guys that have wanted community, wanted to grow together, wanted to ask questions, not get lambasted in Facebook groups, or you can't ask questions on Instagram because people just tear you apart. This is where you get to ask them. Everybody that's answering those questions is your peer. They're helping you out as a peer group. And it's just really, really awesome. And by the way, the more people that join and grow, the more daily conversations, the more momentum, the more of a tool it is, the more of a resource it is. And it's just, frankly, right now, it's already starting to self-perpetuate, which is just really, really exciting. And there's some great guys that are top contributors in that group, which I couldn't think of them enough, that are submitting questions and content and topics every day. And I'm learning stuff like you wouldn't believe. There's a ton of questions about gear, equipment, CRM, software, taxes, accounting. We've got Brandon Bull. I just added Adam in there for a website. He's been answering a bunch of questions. Carl and Joseph are in there for Cycle CPA, like I talked about. Just solid people in there. So you guys are missing out. Frankly, if you're missing out, that stinks. It's on you. And make a change. I was joking with somebody the other day. 2024, new year, new you. And I'm like, what if you don't get around anybody? If you don't get around any accountability, if you don't join a group or a peer group or a mentorship group or something like that to stay accountable daily, weekly, monthly. I'm like, it's just you out there on your own. And people will say it's lonely. I know it's lonely. I agree. Stop letting it be lonely. Join the group. Come check it out. And if you don't want to, absolutely no big deal as well. Not a hard sell. All right. Any which way, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Hope you guys are having a great day. We'll be back here before you know it. And we will catch up with you guys here on the next episode.
Thanks, Brian. Great show as always. I'm Mr. Producer, and we are going to extend today's episode with a little bit of overtime. We want to share a brief portion of last month's expert interview from the brand new Lawntrepreneur Academy link. Here's Leroy Maines from Brilliant Borders Landscaping just to give you a little sample of the content that you can experience when you get a link membership.
And it's not just Corey Ballard. There are people in your communities, there's guys that you guys know, and they don't have to be in the lawn care stuff. When you start hanging out with people that are more successful than you are, you become more successful. You will level up to that level without a doubt. If you want to stay and run in those circles, you will start to meet those kinds of people. You can't go into it saying, hey, what's this? What's this? Tell me this. Tell me this. If you want to run in those circles with those people. But if you show that you can bring some value, a friendship, whatever the case is, and you slowly get in there, you will start to level up and be with those people. And what Corey's done for me is he's opened the door to a lot of other very successful and smarter people than I am that I've really been able to help and pick their brains and learn from them as well too. And that's how Corey's really helped me.
The couple conversations and friendship that I've been able to hopefully establish with him, I couldn't agree more. It's wild. One thing, old analogy. Some of you guys have probably heard this one in some of the older sales and success books. But the dog on the porch on the step, Leroy, and the dog starts whimpering, and somebody walks by and says, "What's going on with your dog?" And after a couple times, the guy goes, "So what the heck is going on with your dog?" And he goes, "Oh, he's sitting on a rusted nail." And somebody goes, "Well, why doesn't he move?" And he goes, "Well, it doesn't hurt bad enough. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt bad." So the guy, the old story is like, walks over, takes a shoe, smashes the nail up, and the dog jumps off the nail. Leroy, that maybe was Corey coming in and saying, "Dude, you got to get rid of that guy." Law of the land. Yeah.
Guys, I hang out with some other guys, and one of my buddies, he owns a portable toilet business, dumpsters, and does really, really well. And he says this all the time to me. He says, "Leroy, nobody changes until the pain is great enough." And it is so freaking true. Nobody changes until the pain is great enough. And it's the same in our business, and it's the same with our people. Eventually you will get sick got and be pissed off enough that it's like, okay, you come to the end, and it will happen with your people. So, yeah.
And that's good stuff. We got about 5 or 6 minutes left.
Yeah, let me do this. Lucas asked this question here about, do you walk in and just introduce yourself and give a bid? So I don't just walk in and give a bid. One of the things that you got to do is you've got to establish some sort of rapport with them, talk to them, figure out how to talk to them, get something out of them. Jeff Joyner, get his book, learn how to talk to people. I'm telling you guys, get his book and learn how to talk to people. If you can talk to people and strike up a conversation with them and find something that you have in common, you've already hit that thing. If you walk in the door and just introduce yourself, "Hey, here's a quote for you," they know why you're there, you guys. You have to be able to relate to them on some sort of level. I posted something on, I think it was the Green Grind or my Brilliant Borders page the other day, and it was a guy giving a speech, and he said every single person is about 1,000 cold calls away from being a millionaire. And it is so freaking true. People don't cold call these days. They don't walk into a business, introduce themselves, and get some literature. We have these nice folders made up that have all this stuff in them. And we just walk into, we're going to do a sales blitz here after the first of the year in some areas that we want to target. And what a sales blitz is we have a bunch of literature made up, and we have 4 or 5 people going out, and we're just going to walk up and down these businesses and hand them our stuff. Okay. And we're not doing anything but handing them our stuff. "Hey, how are you guys? We're in the area. We're moving to the area. We're going to, we're hoping to get some lawn care business. Would love to talk to you if you're not happy with your people." That's it. That's all we're going to do. Maybe grab a business card, and off the door we go. Then we're going to contact them again 2 weeks later. Then we're going to contact them again. And someday what's going to happen is they're going to be pissed off enough at their lawn guy, or the price is going to not get good enough, and your email is going to come through that same morning. And guess what? They're going to give you a call. "Hey, you know what? Why don't you give me a quote today?" It's not going to be, you're not going to go and knock on 150 doors and have 25 people calling you guys. That's not the way it's going to be. It's a slow process, and getting that business and getting those business and getting those repeat customers over and over and over again is something that you have to do. Social media, I think, makes it easy for people to think that business is quick, business is fast. You just get these customers and immediately your business is good. That's not the way it is, guys. It's hard as hell. And it's a grind. And if we're talking real, you're going to be at it for years, and you're going to be at it for years. And you're going to get a customer that says, "Hey, yes, we'll do business with you." And 3 days later, you're going to get somebody else that says, "We're done with you for this reason." And you get kicked every single day in the nuts. And it's like, what happens here? But eventually it gets to be worth it. That cold calling will pay off, and handing your card out, going to chamber events and just talking to people. The more people that you can talk to, the better off you are. If you have inclinations about hiding behind a keyboard and just hoping that your word gets out there and that you run a few Facebook ads and your business is going to take off, guys, I'm here to tell you, real talk, it's not happening. You're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to make some cold calls, and you're going to have to get uncomfortable having conversations with people about your business and what you do.
Before you turn off the podcast, there are two things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.